Right after the court verdict, Janusz Walus, the killer of Hani, the then Secretary General of the SACP, was about to be released on parole. His lawyer saying that was expected on Thursday. Now Correctional Services saying he's receiving medical attention after an unfortunate stabbing incident. We're joined by Singabakho Nxumalo from Correctional Services spokesperson. Thank you for being with us. Please tell us what happened.
Hey, very good evening, and thank you for having us. What we're able to confirm at this stage is an unfortunate incident involving inmate Walus, where allegedly was stabbed by another inmate. What we then did was to ensure that our healthcare officials do attend to him. They've confirmed that he's stable, but they are still providing necessary care. And the department, once everything has been settled, will then start now zooming in terms of the actual incident, just getting more details what really happened there.
He's stable. How serious was the stabbing, though? Was it one stabbing? Was it multiple stabbings?
What I can confirm that there was a stabbing, and with stabbings there are opportunities of internal bleedings and other things. Hence, we do not want to leave anything to chance as a department. Our healthcare professionals are on site. They've confirmed that he's stable. They will continue affording appropriate and necessary care. And as a department, we have to make it a point that such is availed to inmate Walus, as all other inmates are entitled to such appropriate care.
Who is the inmate who stabbed him, and where is he right now?
The report that we have is that it is allegedly an incident involving another inmate within the same housing unit, although they are kept in single cells. But an incident happened in that unit, and our officials were able to respond. Unfortunately, he had already been stabbed at that time. Hence, then they were able to ensure that he's taken to a safe place where our care officials could respond with necessary speed. So as a department, we therefore have to start going into the procedures wherein once an incident has been reported, then to get formal details to say who was involved, what type of weapon was used, and also even the corrective measures that will have to be taken thereafter. But what is our priority at this stage is to ensure that the inmate who has been stabbed is afforded that care, so that we can guarantee that he will be in a stable condition until the following day, until such time that he is placed out.
The Sowetan is reporting that it's a former soldier for the SA National Defence Force who stabbed him. Can you confirm that?
We have no idea where they got such information, and we cannot even confirm that. I think it is still early, because the only thing that our reports will indicate will be the name of the inmate, which is still reported as alleged. Then at a later stage, you can start then zooming to say who is this particular inmate, what is his history, where does it come from. So I think it's still early for then one to make such conclusions in terms of the profile of the other inmate involved.
All right, and you don't know about his motive, if this would be around the anger that we've seen expressed just on the news that he would be released on parole, about the original crime, the killing of Hani?
Only our investigation will lead us into such findings, because once we've managed then to sit with the perpetrator, we can then source the what may have been the drive, thus pushing him to commit such an offense. And as a department, we know we can then elaborate further on that. But at this stage, as I've said, what is important is that the inmate who's been stabbed must be given appropriate care. We are quite comfortable that he's stable, that is pleasing, but as I've said, we cannot afford to leave anything to chance. We have to ensure that our officials are with him until such time that they give us that clear to say now, they can leave him in his cell. But he's in our hospital at the correctional center, and then we'll do whatever it takes to ensure that appropriate care is afforded.
Okay, so he's at the prison hospital. with the staff who would usually be there? Have additional medical staff been called in? Is there any prospect of moving him, or does it seem like it'll be fine if he stays in the correctional centre?
Fortunately, Correctional Services has healthcare officials in its employ, specifically employed to give necessary care to inmates, or when such cases do arise, where as a department, we're able then to make it a point that they respond with necessary speed. So they were on site, and they managed then to ensure that the offender is stabilized. Hence, we issued that particular statement.
Okay, so will he be released on parole or not? What does this mean right now?
That decision will be taken at the right time by the appropriate authorities.
Mr. Nxumalo, final question. How did the other inmate get the knife?
I have not disclosed the type of a weapon that was used. And once we've managed to source all such details, we will then make it known. But as a department, critically at this stage is that the inmate, in this case being always afforded appropriate care, and that the perpetrator has been restrained and isolated. We will then move into now a stage in terms of properly engaging with him, perhaps to source more information to say what pushed him to act in this particular manner, and also even the motive behind it.
All right, thank you for your time. That update after the news from Correctional Services that there has been a stabbing incident. He says that he cannot even confirm what weapon was used, but a stabbing incident. Janusz Walus, the killer of Hani, is now receiving medical attention inside prison. That was spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo.